We're back with part 2 of the Melbourne Pro Punters panel. James Early, Michael Harrick, myself, Anthony Jupp, Darren Potter, Ralph Horowitz. You can find Ralphie's stuff. He's at www.racetrackralphie.com.au.
That'll do, yep.
And make sure you head to One to Follow and grab Potts' sets. He's been going really well lately. I think Jake put up the stat before. Was it 9 out of the last 12 or something like that, winning sets? So Potts is really hitting his straps, and you'll need that because this week we have the big $100,000 top better tournament on Caulfield Cup Day. So make sure you grab a ticket in that. It'll be well worth it. It's great fun. And also another good friend of the show and a good mate of ours. He's got off to a really good start. Sean Burns doing the A-League, and he's selling that through One to Follow. So make sure you jump on and grab that. It's a great little set. Sean works really, really hard, and he's a friend of ours, and we've caught up with him a couple of times.
You won't get any better info than you will from Sean.
Yeah. So that's sort of just helping pay the bill. So make sure you head to those sites and grab the stuff. Boys, we'll go back and have a quick spin through Caulfield. There was 10 races.
I think what we should do, Jupp, is we'll all have a quick summary of the meeting.
Yep.
And then if there's anything particular that we want to discuss, we'll do. Otherwise, it'll take forever. So,
well, the highlight of my day was me getting there and being greeted by a fire truck as one of the kitchens caught fire. And then the only thing, I know it was the feature race and we had wings, but it did suck a bit of the oxygen out of the day, didn't it, boys?
Well, I think we held a total of a whopping $140 on the race and won it all.
Well, team
so the only bet you held were on Blackheart Bard and
we
the
put
other.
wigs out to $1.24 and still couldn't spark it.
Can I ask, and let's do this in a snapshot. Why was wigs $1.25? She should have been $1.05.
$1.24 still couldn't get money out of it.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of...
Is that just a matter of the people
supply and
don't want to
demand?
take
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Economic supply and demand.
There was a tiny little bit of money for Blackheart Bard and Hill Sheep, believe it or not. We just had a lunch race. We just went and had lunch and didn't worry about it.
And the other thing with the race was my team, Team Waterhouse, put up the place odds in the 3-horse race, much to the chagrin of some other rails bookies who weren't impressed with that. But believe it or not, that was an innovative wagering product, and we actually held more the place than we did the win on the race.
And lost.
Well, I can't go into those sort of details. So Winks won. Was it a Cox Plate winning run though, or should we be looking at the 3-year-olds going forward?
Didn't they just walk in that race? They absolutely walked.
I just need to send you, because you'll probably... I got an email from a customer. He was on course and he saw this in front of him. Would you classify someone a mug who puts $10 on all 3 runners in Winks' race? I can't believe what I just saw.
If anyone wants to do that, you can find these gentlemen at most Victorian race meetings. They'll be happy to accommodate you.
When Black Caviar was running around, people were actually keeping their tickets.
Sensational.
Yeah. So they come up and have $10 on Black Caviar and they just keep it.
I know we got a 50, but I'm pretty sure we got a $100 bet on Black Caviar. He's gone, I'm not coming back, I just want the ticket. They said thank you.
The disappointing thing for those people is those tickets tend to fade.
Don't tell people that.
Don't let out our secrets.
Look, so all I want to say about the meeting is, I want to re-emphasise the point that the dominant winners on the card come down from Sydney. So the Melbourne trainers need to be very careful, and they need to instruct their jockeys, and the Melbourne jockeys need to wake up to themselves. One of the problems going into this meeting was 2 weeks ago at Caulfield. There was a strong north wind. The jockeys were incessantly hitting the brakes on the side of the track.
Yes.
And all that form fell over. All the anchor drop races from 2 weeks ago completely collapsed, and those horses were underprepared for what they faced on Saturday. So if that sort of stuff keeps going on, like the race on that day where it didn't happen as much was Mahoney with Regan Bayless and whoever rode Royal Rapture, I think it was Ben Allen. So they proved that you could ride into that wind on pace and dominate the race.
Yeah.
There was no need for that stopping on the side of the track. It didn't help your horses. It was, so that sort of thing, all that's going to do is create a very fertile ground for Sydney horses coming down if that happens again. Because we're looking at another northerly wind coming this Saturday for the Caulfield Cup. So yes, that's what's forecast. Hopefully not as strong. So
3 weeks. Thoughts for Cox Plate now,
so look,
as we stand
when
now.
I was watching that race, I was thinking, geez, this is track work. This isn't a race.
They walked early, didn't they?
This is not a great prep, but the last 800 metres of that race, they've really ramped it up. And she's a great horse. She's a champion, and Blackheart Bart's a very good horse. And Hartnell's somewhere in the middle. Like, he's an extremely good. So it's going to be a great race. I mean, I've been hoping for a 3-year-old all along. I just think it's probably going to be a bridge too far, to be honest. Now we're getting there. If Winks wasn't a champion, I think that race, I said they wouldn't help her. But because she's a champion, I don't think it'll stop her. So
That's a good.
she's the horse to beat because she's just so good.
Can I tell you one around the race? You've got a horse to follow. He or she, seriously, was a sensational trial for the Derby Day, what's it called, Longines now?
Yeah.
That, his data is sensational. And that almost, to me, smacked of Hazy saying, we're going to get third to Group 1 as a barrier trial.
Well, can I
Because
ask
if they wanted to really try something, they would have led on he or she.
Yeah, no,
and
definitely.
tried to test the stamina of Blackheart Barton to get second.
Yeah.
Can I
So
ask?
that's not no criticism, but if that sets it up beautifully for the mile and come back in distance.
Well, can I ask a follow-up question then? And this will bring us on to a next race we can have a look at. Race 9 was the Toorak Handicap, and it was over a mile. And I assume some of these horses would nearly be going 3 weeks, same as what he or she would be doing 3 weeks into Longines there on Derby Day.
Well, I believe that Awesome Rock is going to the Cox Plate.
Okay. What about a horse like He's Our Rocky?
No, hang on, I haven't finished.
Okay.
I think that if the camp looks at what mares have been doing, good mares off the Cox Plate into the Maya Classic on Derby Day, so 2040 back to the mile,
Yeah.
they've got a very good record. It's not going to be competitive, well, it's not going to be competitive for Winks and Hart and Awesome Rock, but there's such a chance of going between 3rd and 6th. That will give it the best platform to
For that.
get back, so I wouldn't rule it out. He's our Rocky through, it doesn't worry him in the slightest. He's now fit, and he's got more to come. He's our Rocky, I guarantee it.
So if that's the case, Ralph, would you, if they were saying it's going to be good 3, like what we expect Flemington was, would you want to be with he or she or He's Our Rocky if they both wind up against one another in that Longines mile?
I would have thought he or she.
Okay.
Yeah, as we always say, it's about the price. I'll probably be on both. Both of them are going too well to lose a
My
price.
gut feeling on He's Our Rockies, he's looking for 2,000 metres now.
Okay, so
I just don't know. And he might Flemington, the Flemington mile's more suitable. So
is there a 2,000 metre race for him other than the...
McKinnon the week after. So what they'll probably do is run him in the mile. I think I heard Hazy post-race say something like, run him in the mile, and then that'll pretty much be it for his career in handicaps. After that, he's a weight for Rachel's for the rest of his career. And don't worry, he can go a lot faster. So it was a gun ride, but he can go faster on Vince's figures, what he was doing. And see, by the way...
Well, my thing is that he got a nice run, it was a nice ride.
Yeah.
There was an on-pace advantage there that the leader, Great Esteem, used really well.
Yeah.
When he sort of edged out with 200 to go, I thought he was probably going to put 2 lengths on Great Esteem and those others, and he sort of just grinded to the line. So I'm not, in no way is it any knock, but to me that was sort of saying, I'm probably ready for a
It was a good win, but it wasn't as impressive as what that was the 3rd on the trot, wasn't it? It wasn't as impressive as the previous 2 wins. It was still a win though.
It's much better horses.
You can't, but it had the run of the race, got out. You expected it to explode, and it just got there. It did what it had to do. Winning form's good form.
And good horses do that.
You mentioned that.
So the interesting thing about that to me is punters, compare the 3 1,600 metre races there on Saturday. That the race that He's Our Rocky one's a handicap, a lot of lightly weighted horses in it, and a pressure race with a lot of on-pace runners, and they haven't run much faster time than the 2 3-year-old races, which just shows you how good this crop of 3-year-olds is.
Well, that brings me on to my next point. I got up frightfully early this morning, and that's because I love the NFL. But also, while the NFL was on the other screen, I flicked over onto 78 and watched the replays of Saturday. And they also had the post-race interview with Wayne Hawkes. Now, Wayne, I understand that Star Turn in the last race is a colt. This gentleman here as well as Ralph, has been saying for some time that the 3-year-olds have a big gap on some of the better on the older horses. Don't then come out and tell us in the post-race interview how much of an effort was for the 3-year-old to beat the older horses, because frankly, Fonk, it's a load of shit. Potts, what did you think of Star Turn? I'm glad it was a moral. I had a max bet on it.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm glad you didn't ask what I think of Wayne. God, they're a very... Geez, they prepare their horses well. They're great trainers. I mean, they really get the best out of their horses, but their old school way of looking at things, like he was even sort of as a way of promoting the horse, saying that it being caught 3 wide was some sort of disadvantage. Like, I mean, don't you ever watch replays of the races from the shoot start at Caulfield?
I go back 30 years with Wayne. I was a friend. But this is it's actually a classic case of why I don't listen to trainer interviews. Because I just want to know that they're geniuses at preparing horses, and they are. There's Johnny's in the Hall of Fame. You'll never meet, maybe top 3 of all time I've ever met. John Hawkes, as far as work ethic, is a freak. And that's what they do. They don't do what we do. And the gap is so different. It's not funny. And the best example of what you're saying, what was the Easter Cup winner? Dylan Dunroad. He went to the front of it. Not too mature, was one of those type of horses. Anyway, he's led on it slowly, picked up the pace in the mid-race, and he's won by this much. It was a fantastic front-running ride. And afterwards, he's quoting the paper to Matt Stewart, who then his wife, the trainer's quotes, nothing personal, but how the kid got away with going that fast, it wasn't funny. Like, now, what we're talking is, you can't have an opinion with mathematics. It's either right or wrong. That's the mathematics. The horse went slowly. So that's Wayne. He just looks at the race and goes, well, he led by a few lengths, a bit like Wayne the other day. They must be going quick. Well, they weren't. But so our job is to try and look at the data and find a winner, and their job is to compare the horses.
Speaking of My Dad Says and the rest of Team Hawks, they also had another winner with Divine Prophet taking out the Guineas.
Grand final race, grand final trainers, grand final jockey, Melbourne jockey who does his form, who walked the track, unlike James McDonald who rode his horse arrogantly. That was the difference.
It got into the worst part of the track too, didn't he?
Well, that's what I was asking you like before in part 1. Because going
he
in that
rode-
ride
he
is
rode-
an arrogant ride.
He rode Shidell in the 2 races previously and rode it magnificently. So
Was it?
That's James McDonald.
that was the best ride of the day, I should
You're
have.
just happy
That's
to lay
exactly
James
what I'm
McDonald.
saying. What's that?
You're just happy to lay James
Yeah,
McDonald.
you're also
as a
happy to
bookie.
lay Willie Pike, but how's that panning out?
No, I said Willie Pike just get on every race.
No,
James
I'm
McDonald
Yeah.
can have a sensational ride,
Yep.
and then he can get paranoid of something in the very next race and just do something stupid. Or he'll go,
Screw with that.
he'll go, I'm out the back of the field, I'm going to go around and wide early,
Yeah.
so I'm on the favourite, I'm on the best horse, I'm going to go wide early, give it every possible chance.
Yeah.
Where another jockey will be a little bit more patient, stay back, not go
Walk
early.
the track, do the homework, Dwayne Dunn.
And all of a sudden, he'll get the runs and win.
wide. He had to.
No, he wasn't drawn wide. He was drawn in the middle of the field, and he needed to be positive. He needed to be
Drew 10.
positive. And,
10 of 14.
yeah, that's right.
He
needed to be
landed where I thought
positive.
he'd land.
And then clearly what's shown, and you've said it by walking the track. Clearly what's shown was the wide looping run wasn't going to work. So if all of a sudden you get a squeeze and you're a length further back, then ride for luck, because out there was Shitsville, and he didn't, and well, completely agree with you. Is that then you can see the data, and what's amazed me through studying Vince's work is that the best jockeys ride to the numbers. The freaks at it. His ride earlier on, is that Chetwin? Is it called Chetwin?
Yeah.
That was genius.
Yeah.
So to feel, his ability to get horses to
He's a
relax.
sensational jockey.
Yeah, but tactics-wise, as you say, and
It's just-
and the same thing was Exosphere and the Lightning. Poor tactics, arrogantly in the wrong part of the track, cost him the race.
And Potts
Look,
another.
I think in the end, that race, the Caulfield Guineas, just because of all the circumstances leading into that race, you had Shidell and he had the chant in shoot races, winning in the middle of the track, so the jockeys were edging off the fence. It became a significant advantage to be drawn inside. That's what I think, and I think that had a real impact on the race. And I think the margins in the end between the horses, I think there's not a lot between those first 4 horses, and the riding,
So
the riding was the difference. But I think more than Dwayne done riding a brilliant race, he did ride a brilliant race, but I think he had the advantage of the inside draw.
Well, there you go. So to be totally fair and complete my point, Haydock was drawn outside of impending.
Yeah,
Horrifically.
yeah.
Luke Curry was proactive, made the best of the bad situation, and gave that horse every chance. So I'm not saying you got to be fair in this game. You're going to say, well, you're at a disadvantage from where you are. So try something. Don't arrogantly flop out the back, try and loop the field when the worst part of the track's out there on a horse who's probably going to lengthen the field, and in the end, that was the difference between even running a place. Compared to Luke Curry saying, well, I'll put you in the race and see if you're there. I reckon actually, no, I reckon swap barriers. Hey, good argument, Haydock could have won.
Yeah, I think if I,
Put on the pro.
in hindsight, I would say James McDonald, if he's reviewing his ride, he might disagree that if he'd have forced a little bit more forward and forced Haydock to go further forward, it would have changed the race. It probably would have helped them both, to be honest. Anyway.
Boys, the other Guineas race was the 1,000 Guineas, and a tremendous training performance by Gay and the Bot.
Come on. I mean, there's not a lot to say about this race, really. I mean, this is the... it was a really good day for punters. A lot of people found all the winners there on Saturday.
Up the punters!
I had 7 of them on top, 2 second and 1 fourth. Right? So a good day, but they weren't hard to find. And there was a lot of place getters there on Saturday that if they'd have lobbed, it could have been very, very different. There was a lot of random horses there. So I would say to the punters, just be careful, don't get too carried away. But the biggest mistake I made on Saturday was falling in love with Harlow Gold. And I probably had her form about 2 lengths higher than what it needed to be. And she ran a race.
This was a better trial for the Oaks, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where she is. Yeah. She's a good, strong filly. But apart from that, this race is just a really good ride on the winner, and it's sort of like a Mary. They've all just gone round.
But also, it's had what you've been saying. The Global Glamour did have the Sydney form, the T-Rose, the Fly.
And comes down off a strong 1,600 metre run. It was the only, like Harlow Gold was the other one, but
I thought it was gone.
Whispering Brook was the hand up. Whispering Brook was the hand up.
2 weeks ago.
Exactly right, there it is.
All them horses that come through that, I mean, honestly, it was just...
Anything to finish with jumping?
Yes, a horse to follow, gentlemen. Go. Have you got one for us? Anywhere?
Well, mine just went back to the paddock. The Tossum Stardom. I really like it. It's out injured.
Mickey, you got one that you've seen anywhere that you'd like to follow?
Mine's Soci Bond. I thought it was... we were talking about it before, Darren and I personally, only an opinion, I reckon what Derby wants suited. But
yeah, absolutely.
I'll say the horse to follow is race 5. The mare's race, that'll be a stack of winners out of that. Shidell, Silence Edition, another tick to Sammy Pritchard, Gordon, great training performance, a lot of love, as you mentioned, Stewie Love. Keep the horses that race through the winter and maintain a good level. Ravi's ready to win, have Australia back to 1100. I reckon that's a stack out of race 5.
So my horse to follow, I sent through to Matt, so they're on the website, so you can go and have a look at them there from Caulfield. But just give the punters something a bit out wide. I saw a horse win on Friday, I think it was, at Cranbourne, Salon.
Ooh.
She's gone
yes. Hello.
She's a really nice filly. And horse of, it's not Brendan McCarthy, it must be his brother, is it?
Daniel McCarthy, I don't know.
Cabrocco. Anyway, went like a rocket at Echuca on October 3. Like, it was only a 1,000-metre race, so, buyer beware there, but boy, did it go.
Star turn for me, it'll keep winning.
That is for the first jockey.
Is that your tip? So you think it's going to put the wood on the stand extreme choice?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm happy to stick with it.
Yep.
A jockey if they want a t-shirt.
Yeah, if any jockeys want a t-shirt, week ahead. Boys, we've got Wangaratta tomorrow, don't know how they're going to race, it's a foot underwater. Then we go to Caulfield Wednesday, Moe Cup Day on Thursday, can't wait to get down there. Donald Friday, Cranbourne Friday night without the Cranbourne Cup. Then we've got a buffet on Saturday. Caulfield, Mickey, you'll have a stand there. Wayne Elliott.
And don't forget the Cranbourne Cups in 6 months.
Wayne Elliott will have a stand there. James, you're off to Bendigo for
beach party day.
For the hello and friend of the show, Rick McIntosh, the heavily spruiked beach party day. All roads lead there. Mickey's off to Avoca. It'll be a big meeting there.
I'll have to pick up the kids. I've got school pickup.
There'll also be a meeting at Wodonga. So a big weekend coming up. Fire in any thoughts or opinions or criticisms. We love criticism.
And don't forget that $100,000 Caulfield Cup tournament.
And there is the big $100,000 tournament. Make sure you head to One to Follow or racetrackralphie.com to grab all the stuff you'll need to be winning those events. Good luck, punters. Thanks for joining us, boys.
Thanks, boys. Good